Now normally the cable that you would encounter in a transformer is not going to look like this. It will have a connector on it as well as some stripped semicon revealing insulation. Following the steps in the NRI though, you will be able to prepare the cable from any position in the process. So the first thing you would do is take your template and measure out the cutbacks of 1, your semicon, and 2, your insulation. So you take your cable, lay it against your template. You can use the lines on the side of the template as well to help your marking. For semicon, the silver Sharpie, it works best. Make sure that it's lined up correctly. You make a mark. Now, depending upon the order that you like, you can remove the semicon first, or you can strip the insulation with the semicon on it, and then remove the semicon to your semicon cutback. In this case, I will remove the semicon first, and then do the insulation cutback. So, what you do, you take your semicon, strip or score, make sure that the depth of the blade is set so that it will not cut into the insulation when you are scoring. Setting it to 30 or below is enough to score the semicon without damaging the insulation. Now, orientation of the score is important. On the score itself, it tells you about which direction the cable end is and then how to rotate the tool itself. Now on each score there actually is a line that you can use for lining up on the semicon with your mark. So this is hard to do backwards. First thing you want to do is create your square cut. So selecting the square cut on the score, you then spin it around. And if you look on this semicon, it has made a square cut. Switch it to the spiral cut. And wheel it out, and it should move to the end of the cable, or this end of the semicon. At this point, you would remove your semicon by locating the edge of the scoring, so which is right here. Using your pliers, you can peel off the semicon. And if the semicon breaks during this part, just begin peeling it off again. When the semicon is off, it should be a nice square cut. At this point, you now must remove your insulation. Once again, use your template. Line it up. The insulation works well with the black Sharpie. Make your mark, as well as make the mark for the tool stop location. Take your tool stop and line it up with its mark. Bring the tool stop down. Take your insulation stripper. Verify that it will cut down to where your insulation mark is. Take your insulation stripper and place it over the cable. Tighten it down so that it fits snug. When you get to a job, the blade on the insulation stripper may be preset. However, it's always a good idea to make sure that it will not gouge the conductor strands when you try to strip the insulation. In order to check, wheel the insulation stripper backwards and look to see if the blade will make contact with any of the strands. In this case it will, so we have to reset the blade. So loosen the wing nut, reposition, and then check, wheeling backwards. Looks like that may hit. So a little bit farther. After the blade is set correctly, begin turning around the cable, and the insulation should peel off. Keep going until the insulation stripper bottoms out onto the tool stop.